If there was an object that was part of your past that was broken, would you want to try to repair it or just forget about it? What if that object would be part of your future more than you realized? Would you make the attempt or just let the opportunity slip by? It's hard for us to know how important something may be or what part it will play in our lives until it's too late. But does developer Pontico show us how fun it is to clone and try to fix what is broken? Let's find out with the last Clocktower for PlayStation VR 2. The Last Clocktower is a VR game about building contraptions out of your own clones. You are on a mission to repair an ancient clock tower built into the trunk of a colossal tree. Inside the tower, you will find a pair of gloves that will allow you to turn anything you do into a looping clockwork automation. Use your automations to grow plants, harvest resources, build wild contraptions, and find a way to save the clock tower. So before going in and trying to start to repair a part of history, there are a few things you should be aware of. First, do not try to rush through, or you may miss some of the things. Second, don't overthink the things. Third, make sure those sense controllers are charged, as you don't want to be in the middle of creating that motion and the end results may not go as planned, all because you forgot to charge them. Fourth, I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone, so I'm not going to be showing footage of all the puzzles, as I want you to be surprised by what you find. And finally, just enjoy your time in this world. With all that said, let's continue. In starting the last Clocktower, I noticed something from the start. No, not the simplicity of the options before you start the game, but the music. There is something very calming that helps set the tone, and maybe that's why the way the artist Joel Cortez had in mind when writing the music for this. This is the type of music that when you're having a bad day or just need to feel relaxed, you could play and you suddenly would realize everything would be okay. Almost in a way, the music sets the tone for the game. Appearing on the balcony of the tree at night is how your adventure starts. Receiving a radio call from the one known as Levi, who you will be in touch with throughout the story. Of course, one cannot simply enter the tree without having to turn on the power, and this is where you're met with your first puzzle. With each part of the tower that you encounter, you will come across machines that act as helpful tips for you to see what to do next. Lucky for you, you have a pair of gloves. That helps. Your gloves have the power of creating clones that can help solve the puzzles. But these clones are based on your motions.
What's this one?
So if you are doing a motion of throwing, then that clone will repeat the same motion. And when you have multiple clones, it becomes this looping action. This is where you have to figure out what needs to be done so that you can make sure that you are doing the right action. You would need to gather enough fruits and vegetables to gain access to different parts of the clock tower. Different fruits and vegetables are handled differently. For example, blueberries will explode if they are handled too long. So in this case, It's getting the production line of clones to where they are throwing the blueberries with just enough handling so that they don't explode. The great thing is, when you have a successful line of clones working together, they still continue to work even if you are not in the same room. So this will help with the numbers you need to be able to unlock the next room. If you create a clone that you either created by accident or just doesn't fit the flow of things, you can delete them by simply touching their heads. At one point, I had to clear the entire room because I created too many. You will also notice boards that give you the formula of what is needed, as well as tell you how productive things can be with the number of clones. So make sure you pay attention to those, and it should help you. And that is part of the fun, is trying to figure out everything. Also, there will be tape recorders throughout that help move the story along between the main characters, which you may have to move around the room to find. Let's talk about the graphics and sound. The colors are sharp, and seeing the sun come through the windows and hit different parts of the room really helps show the power of the PlayStation VR 2. The text is very clear, and everything looks like it would be part of a movie. With the sound, using the Pulse 3D headset, I could hear the smallest things, like gears turning to even hearing where things were being thrown from a distance. Plus, the musical soundtrack really does help balance everything out. There are a few things that I would have loved to have seen. First, more things to interact with. Yes, you do have the fruits and vegetables, levers, and interactions with the story, but it would have been fun to have used other things in the room as part of the solution to the puzzles. And finally, more time. My time with the game was over before I knew it, and I just wanted more, as the tracking worked so well that I was having fun making the clones act like they were having an argument. The last Clocktower allows us to have fun with cloning, but also shows us something special with the world it has created, from the physics that are used to the voice talents that present themselves to us. In life, we try to do things our way because we may believe it's the right way, but when the help we receive can actually show us the most efficient way. We may not want to ask for help, but couldn't we all use a helping hand every now and then?